Oh, alrighty, here we are again. It's the bearded one here. Again, just absolutely chaos. Basically, just sat down again about a minute ago. But that's what goes on in this house. It's always something going on. It's always nonstop. It's always chaos, and that's why I'm back on. I'm jumping back in here today. Going to be a fun one. This is an important one for me. Those of you who know what I've been doing, I did the Bearded Babble. I stopped about a year ago. It was building momentum. It was doing what I thought were great things. And then I was having a lot of Wi-Fi issues. And I lost a lot of really good chats. Some great people. They were, it couldn't happen. And one of them was a very good friend of mine. Probably one of the greatest comedians, but more importantly, one of the greatest human beings that I've had the privilege to have into my life, and that's Marshall Brandon. We tried twice about a year ago, and my Wi-Fi kept acting up, and we couldn't get this babble. So I just kind of gave up. I crawled into my hole for about a year, and again, you know, we talk about everything. We talk about comedy. Marshall's coming down here. This is his comedy, his love. We're going to get into a lot about what comedy really is. I think, because Marshall, again, is just absolutely one of the most amazing human beings you could ever meet. And I took off for a year, got the Wi-Fi fixed a couple of months ago, and I really should have got back into this then. I wasn't feeling it, my energy wasn't right, and then all of a sudden, I really have to say, I know this is probably like my fourth or fifth Bearded Babble in a matter of days, when I hadn't done one for about a year, my energy. And again, this is something that I talk about. This is something that I'll say honestly I didn't believe in years ago. But it's something that I believe in. It's something that I enjoy sharing. And the reason why I believe in it is because I connect to people such like Marshall. I met him through Donnell. And I think Donnell was one of the, Donnell Rawlings was one of the people who introduced me to surrounding yourself with your team, with your people. But more importantly, there has to be an energy there. You have to find the right energy. And when you find the right energy, it's beyond a friendship. It's family. It's whatever you want to call it, and it's a wonderful thing. So, like I said, this is me finally getting back from over a year ago, from shutting down, from giving up on all of this, to my energy just being in a bad place. My energy is like I said, some amazing things have been happening in my life with my family, behind the scenes with friends of mine. And someone, like I said, this person that I'm going to be bringing on now, Marshall Brandon, he has been inspiring me all through my past year of darkness. Watching him grow, and watching his story, they're already, that's all I needed. That right there is the best damn therapy I've had in a year, is just seeing that face, that smile.
What's up, Bearded?
I've missed you, man.
Miss you, bro. I see you got the Wi-Fi all together. That's a beautiful thing.
Finally. And that's the thing. It was very upsetting. I lost a couple of babbles back then, but it was really upsetting. The first time that it fell apart, you stuck with me. We tried to get it, and then we tried to do it again, and it just couldn't happen. And that was really brought me down, because this is what I want to do. Yes, I want to talk about comedy, and more importantly, and again, this is something that I've touched on in the past, talking with different people. I always thought comedy was for the audience. And you and I had a conversation one night. I'll never forget this. It was after you and Donnell had performed in Nyack, an amazing show. I'll never forget that show. And we went out for drinks afterwards, some crazy white crowded bar, and we had an amazing time. And you and I had a conversation outside afterwards, and it was a very personal conversation. I won't get too much into it, but you went through something traumatic in your life.
Oh, yeah.
You gave up on comedy. And then you realized that you needed comedy. And again, it wasn't about what you give to the audience. It's about what you get while you're on that stage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely went through most of my comedy career feeling like it was like people would come out, plug into you, and you take them on a ride, like almost like you're taking them from what they had, like from their day and what they're going through. And then after going through something myself, and then maybe not doing comedy for like a month, and then doing it, it was like I could see where I was plugged into the audience. as well. It's a two-way street. It wasn't something to where it was like people were just coming to get something from me. I was going to get something from them too, you know, and something I needed that I found out that I really needed in my life. So yeah, the comedy definitely goes, you know, it's definitely like a two-way street.
It's an amazing thing, and again, I have to thank you for one, your energy, one, like I said, just seeing you, it enlightens me. Your smile,
Thanks, man.
your energy, like I said, seeing you on stage. If anyone has ever seen you on stage, you're an absolute beast.
Thanks, bro.
You're absolutely one of the greats, and to see you going to where you belong to go to right now, my
Yeah.
God, we're gonna get into that. It's it's when you see things happen, especially in this time. I don't want to get into everything, but the chaos in this world, the anger in this world, the hate, the people wanting to see other people fail. You know, it's just I don't get it. And then to see you like just on this rise, and to see you enjoy it and embrace it, and it's what it should be. You know, that to me, like I said, you have no idea the energy that you have kept me going this past year when I've needed the energy. Not even talking, not even connecting, just seeing something of yours, seeing when you were out on that stage, seeing when you were walking into that circle in the round. I was there with you. Believe me, I was there with you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's been a great ride, you know, and I didn't know how things was gonna happen. I didn't know how I didn't know, but I know that once the pandemic started, I knew that things were gonna change. You know what I mean? And I knew that going into the pandemic, you was either gonna come out better off or worse off. You know what I mean? And I made up my mind that, you know, I said it's a reset. We all starting from the same starting line again. So let's go. You know, because I feel like I could, you know, I'm a pretty good runner in this comedy game. So I just made up my mind as to what I wanted to do. I saw it and I believed in it, and things just started unfolding from there. You know what I mean? But I love what's happening now. You know, and it's been more. It's crazy because while it's the biggest comedy experience, it's been an even bigger life experience. You know what I mean? And I've learned so much about life. You know, and about my direction, and about trusting and how I look at things, how I view things. You know. So I'm loving it right now. It's just been awesome.
And again, too, like I said, I learned an awful lot through Donnell, through meeting people. And again, like I said, it goes back to, like I said, I wouldn't have believed. And if you talked about energy in me 20 years ago, I would have shaken my head and not believed in you.
Right.
But
I'm still
seeing
here.
it, and I know you are. And again, like you said, you have to see where you want to go. You have to put it out there to the universe.
Yeah.
How important that is, and how when you manifest it, it will come to you. I was talking to a gentleman last night on here, Greg, and we discussed that. You know, every morning, and this morning, you got to sit down, you got to write down. You know, where do I want to be, and go big, go absolute, go. I want a late night talk show. I want to be on prime time. Why not? If you're gonna dream, why would you dream anything less than the biggest that you think that you can possibly go?
Right. I always tell people that when they write down their goals and their dreams to, you know, think about going the biggest they can. And then once they have their list, look at the list and ask themselves what's beyond that, you know. And it's, you know, just because it's like, you really, 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 really got to go for it all. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
You're a perfect example of just look at what you're doing. You're on the trajectory. You're going. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man. How has it been for you? How has it been taken? I mean, because that's listen, you're an established comedian. Those who know you, but now you're really kind of taking that next step. And how does it feel?
It feels great, man, because like I've been at this for a good long time.
Yes.
I've been putting in work, you know what I'm saying? I've been like chasing this, I've been sacrificing, and it's like something's finally happening, you know, and I mean there have been good things happening all the way because the whole ride has been great, you know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, this is like you know, to be able to perform on a show and know that this show right now is is a show that pretty much 98% of every comedian in the country would like to be on this show that I'm doing right now. You know, to know that I've been on shows that have made history, you know, that go down in the history books for what, you know, for what the show was. It's been dope as fuck, man. And and all I do, you know, and I really I think that it comes from me working hard. You know, I work extremely hard, and it comes from me working hard. But I think more importantly, it comes from just like treating people how you want to be treated. You know, keeping your head and your heart in the right place. And it's like it's crazy because I know that that's a better road to be on. You know what I mean? It's times where you be scrolling through stuff and you comedy is love. That's right. MarshallBranded5.com. This is the shooter right here.
I love that. I love that shirt too. I
gotta yeah. But it's yo, I'm loving every second of it. You know what I mean? And and the crazy thing is that you don't just do some of these shows and be like, oh yeah, this is what it's still all so surreal to me. Every show is like my first time. I'm not nervous to go on stage, but I'm like I have nerves about the situation. But that's when I know that I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right things whenever.
I gotta ask you, have you ever done anything like an in the round before? And if you didn't, how was that walking into that?
Yo, it was crazy because I was sitting backstage with Mo Amer and I know that he's done it before. I've never done and I just started doing crowds that big, you know what I mean? But I've never done a round like that. So I said, yo, Mo, we're sitting back in the green room. I said, Mo, I've never done a round before. He said, yo, I was just thinking about that shit, wondering how you was gonna handle it. And I'm like, you know, here's somebody who's done it, you know, plenty of times, who's done a bunch of shows like that, because, you know, with the audience on all four sides of you, it's like, what do you, and he said, you just gotta you gotta play the whole, you know, he gave me advice on it. And I went out and I executed it to the best of my ability, you know. And once I was out there, I was like, okay, I see how this goes. And you got to just kind of, you know, you just got to play the whole room, you know, and you almost end up walking around in a circle or just making sure you pay attention to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was a dope experience. And walking to the crowd through the whole shit, like doing the ring walk, I felt like a fighter out there, man. It was like I was about to have a boxing match or some shit.
Let me tell you, I was when I saw that video of you walking into the round, let me tell you, I probably jumped up. I probably had I was probably yelling like I was at the boxing match. He was my favorite boxer. That was such a, like I said, that's just one of those things where like I couldn't even imagine. And I thought of like, oh my gosh, like how do you handle that? But I knew, and in my heart there wasn't a doubt that Marshall Brandon was going to handle it like a champ, because and you're one of those people too that, and again, I've learned from Donnell and I've learned from you, and I've had the honor of seeing both of you guys. And if anybody could see the two of you together, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I've learned from you guys about, and a very important part of being up on that stage is your connection to the audience. Yeah. And you're just having a conversation. And that's the most, you can't get up there and put on an act because they'll know. You got to get up there, you got to be yourself, you got to have a conversation. And I've seen you have some conversations. Like I said, I absolutely love what you do. So again, like I said, I could have been going through a very rough patch at that time. And then I'm scrolling through and then I see that you in the rounds. And I'll tell you, that probably gave me days of energy just knowing that you were there. I mean,
Thanks, bro.
I live vicariously through the people I love, and
man. And I still learn a lot from Donnell to this day. You know what I mean? And he's a big part of everything happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope. And we like our 1-2 punch is kind. I always look at me and Donnell like Ghost and Ray, like on the purple tape. You know what I'm saying? That's like, because it's all, at the end of the day, it's all Wu-Tang business. You know what I'm saying? And I always, like, people come out and they're always like, yo, you two together. That show is, dope. So and I definitely appreciate Donnell. I let him know every chance I get, and then he say some bullshit to me like, "Yeah, whatever, son," and we laugh.
You
But
kind of love that, and again too, it's one of those things about the energy. Like I said, my energy, I don't know if it started coming back. I mean, there were a couple little things, but I realized I needed to get out of my hole. I needed to get back. I needed to connect with the people that I love. I needed to do my thing again. And it's been interesting because as that started these past 3 days, I've probably talked to Donnell on the phone 3-4 times in the past 3 or 4 days. And we haven't talked that much over the past months. Not that there's been anything different. I guess the energy wasn't there. And again, it just feels like the energy's coming back. And the discussion we had this morning was it's just uplifting. And again, it's pushing. I know it's weird. A lot of people hear the energy talk and they get weird about it. I get that. It's hippie, it's this, it's that. It's important. It's important to allow it into your life. It's important to surround yourself with people with the same energy, with the same vision. And it's amazing what it can do for you and it can do for them. And to be part of a team like that I never realized what it really was. Like you see the hashtags, team this, team that. But when you really see behind some of those big teams, it's amazing.
yeah, because when I look, let me tell you something, man. I went after, because I went out and I opened up for the closer, and it was like 4 days, and when I watched it and then seeing my name in the credits, like it was like I think a tear popped out. If it didn't, I don't know. I might if it didn't, I wiped it before it did. But I swear it. Like that's major. But and being that's kind of and being around each other and being like if I'm on the road and it goes the same all the way up, like with Dave, with that, like we all look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm on a and it's a family. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a gig. It ain't like, oh, I got this work with so and so or something like that. That's Big Bro and them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm holding that situation down. For whatever needs to be done. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And you see it. You know what I'm saying? You see it. It's like you know that you in a family setting, and it's not just Donnell, it's whoever, like it's everybody involved. It's the whole squad. Like when we move, and you've been there. When we move, it's a unit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody got each other's back. Ain't nobody got it ain't like, it's like this person over here is looking out for me, and I'm looking out for this person over here, and this person looking out for Donnell, and 40 looking out for this situation, and you know what I mean? And
when you say 40 is if everyone in the world could have someone at their side like Donnell does with a 40. I mean,
right.
It's just that's another thing too. I can't tell like how many times like you said, like being around it is weird, and it took me a while to. I still won't say I'm comfortable. I still get yelled at by Donnell every now and then, like like you're here, but you're here, be here,
Right.
you're here, and you have to be reminded of that sometimes. And it's amazing. Like in the beginning, like Donnell would always do that, but 40 always makes sure that everyone is taking. He looks out for everybody else more than he looks out for himself.
He makes sure everybody good.
That's just the way it is. The whole family is like that. When you see that, the way, like you said, family is the absolute correct word there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's priceless. And looking out for each other and keeping things going, and whatever happens. It's absolutely incredible. And where are you? What's next for you? Because again, it's not just the comedy. It's not just the amazing human being that you are. Script writing, I know filmmaking. I know you have so many things that you're involved with. What is next for you? Because I can't wait to see what's next.
Right now, like I've been doing the shows. I just recently got passed down at the Cellar. Hey Chip, what up? I wish I had the gunshots for you, Chip.
I can get congrats on the Cellar. I was just like, wait a second, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to I'm in the process of trying to get in a couple more clubs. down in the city. I'm back. I put my projects down for a while. During the pandemic, I really was going hard working on my projects. And so now I'm one of them in particular, I'm putting the finishing touches on it so I can start trying to get it made, and well, so I can start the process of getting it made. And thank you, man. And so that that and I kind of really things like I got to where it was like I was traveling so much. Like I haven't been I probably went grocery shopping twice in the last like 6 or 7 months because I just ain't been home.
Real quick, I just want to point something out because that's something else that I don't think you talk about. I don't think people even realize about you, and it's something that I have the unbelievable, utmost respect for. How many miles before the pandemic? How many miles did you travel a week? Because you live up in Connecticut, like
Yeah,
up in Connecticut, and you'd be doing shows farther down south than me in Jersey. You'd be in New York. You'd be down the road from me in Passaic. You'd be like, how much time did you spend on the road, and how many miles did you do in an average week?
probably like I do like I have been averaging about 50,000 miles a year. So that's what I was putting on like any car I had. It's like about 50,000 miles a year. And that's driving on the road, not flying to places, but just running back and forth to New York. And when I lived in New York, my daughter was in Connecticut. So it was like I was driving and, when she was in school, I would go to her games, turn around, drive right back to New York, go to my show. And, but yeah, I was averaging about 50,000 miles a year.
The respect, like I said, I would see you. You'd be home. You'd be in Connecticut. The next thing I know, you'd be at a show down south, Jersey, or something like that. And then you'd be home, and then you'd be in New York. And I'm just like, that's dedication, and that's why, like I said, I've watched you and I've seen that, and to see you, like I said, walk into the round, it's like he deserves that. He earned it. That's exactly where he needs to be, and it's going to continue, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'll say it over and over and over again. I am grateful to you just for the energy that you give out to the world, because believe
Thanks, man.
me, I take it in.
Thank you, man. That's the mission, man. I I don't know, man. It with all of everything that's going on in the world. It's so easy to be negative. Like you can scroll through your timeline and see all like a bunch of negativity and stuff. And but it's like sometimes when you go look for the positive stuff, it's a little tougher to find that. It's a little tougher to find things that so I try to be a part of that, man. I try to be a part of even like people coming to see me perform. I like for them to leave with at least one thing that they'll think about later that might just, make them, make them handle a situation with a different emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Helping another human being is the easiest and most rewarding thing one can do. And to do that, it's funny because Jenny and I just had, and she was so excited about this today too, that I was going to be having you on. She says hello. If she wants
So
to peek,
Jenny, hi.
she's in the other room with Jaden right now taking care of him. But if she wants to stop in, she could pop
Hey
in
there.
here because you know our love for you. But what you were just touching on, we had that conversation this morning. And it was actually last night, and then again this morning, I reminded her. I said, what is your feed like on Instagram? Because we were talking about how I've been changing my feed on Instagram too. I've been doing more like beaches, surf stuff, stuff that makes me smile. And I said, change your feed. I said, get anybody that's posting up negative stuff. I mean, if you want to delete them, if you want to get rid of them, fine, whatever. But overload your feed. Go to pages of things that you like, scenery, places in the world, good news events, stuff. Fill your feed with that. And like you said, just throughout your day, if we're going to be on that phone and we're going to be, and like you said, there's so much negativity. There's so much
Right.
wrong information out there. There's so much bullshit out there that at least if you're going to see that, if the next three things are going to make you smile, well, then make that your balance.
Right.
Fill your feed with stuff that makes you smile, because right now a lot of this stuff isn't, not happy, and we have to change that to ourselves.
Right. And people don't even realize how much their like that feed affects them. Like you could be having a regular day or and then you pick up and you go through, you see a few things that just bring, you know, the wrong type of energy out, and next thing you know, you feeling like fuck the world. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like for a good amount of time during the pandemic, I didn't even look. I would post stuff, but I had to make a conscious effort. It was hard because you always pick up your phone and like just immediately start. But every time I would just put my phone down. I stopped looking at my timeline for maybe it was a couple of months, and it was to ground myself, to bring myself back to a place to where I was like to where I felt where I could feel good all day, and it was crazy because it, you know, and it was working, and like even around the house everything was just dope. It was just like just a great feeling around the house, and then somebody reached out to me asking me a question, like just really kind of coming at me, send me a text out of nowhere, and I had to tell him like, yo, you my friend, but you really just really disturb my peace right now, you know what I mean? Like, and it made you, you know, but like sometimes you got to take a break from that stuff, you know what I mean, or change what you're seeing. So it's I definitely think that people should pay more attention to what they're, you know, seeing, especially when you see how, you know, they talk about like, you know, just the way different algorithms run to affect people's emotions and stuff like that. So, but I always try to, you know, keep a good balance there.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's our decision when we get up in that morning and say, do I want it to be a good day or do I want it to be a bad day?
Right, right.
We have that. We can change that. Like I said, I mean, there are circumstances, there are things that happen. Some you're just going to have a bad day. Some days it's just going to be a bad day. Things are going to be bad, but you have to remember in your mind tomorrow will hopefully be better. It may
Hmm.
not be, but within a couple of days things are going to get better. I mean, we go through
Right.
that house. It's a lot of ups and downs, but you still, even through the bad, and again, it's like I said, you know, going through what I went through these past couple of months and through my dark time, it just got to the point where I was just tired of laying in that dark hole.
Hmm.
And it was just, I need to feel good again. I mean, like I said, you know how many times have we been together, and just like I said, the second you came on and I saw your face, that immediately brought me back to so many nights, so many times, so many things, and you have to, even when times are dark, you have to think back to those times.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you shouldn't think back." You should think back to good stuff. And I saw Greg just came in here, who I had on last night. We touched on this a little bit. I stopped looking back for many reasons because everything that we go through, Jaden in this house, with you know, it's you know the stress. You
Right.
know what we go through in
Right.
this house. It's constant stress, and we can allow that constant stress to
Hold on, I lost your sound. Oh, there you go.
we can allow that to dictate how the day is going to go, or we can figure out how to laugh through it. And again, you
Right.
know the whole story about the whole, you know, Dave Chappelle thing, how when Jaden first got sick, it was that DVD when Jaden first got sick that we got, that we weren't sure if we should watch it in the hospital. And we watched it in the hospital, and that was a defining moment for us, that comedy is so important. But
Hmm.
again, too, I also forgot about so many good times. You know, looking back, you know, Jenny and I have been through a lot. I mean, this is, you know,
Right.
having a special needs, you know, son, and everything that we go through. It's tough on us. It's tough on our daughter Dakota, um, and we let it really, I think, sink us down for a short time. And
Hmm.
when you start to look around, you start to realize, wait a second, okay, I'm affected and I'm in a dark place. I spend some time here. Unfortunately, I get comfortable. It's not a great thing. But then I start looking around and I start seeing how it's affecting Jenny, my wife. I start
Hmm.
seeing how it's affecting Dakota, my daughter, and I start seeing how it's affecting Jaden. Now, Jaden is a deaf mute. He has a lot of issues, but you can see in his eyes. He can say more in his eyes and in his face sometimes that
Oh
you
yeah.
don't have to speak. And I think I really started seeing that, and it was like, why am I so down? What, you know? And again, there were tough days, and we're going on year 3 of lockdown because we really can't get out much
Hmm.
because of the uncertainty, you know, of Jaden's immune system. So we've been hunkered down and dealing with this. And I started just looking back at things, and I started thinking back to Jenny and I dating. And I started like, I think I came across like a site on Instagram that was like BMX bikes, and I used to be a BMXer back in the day, like when I was a kid. And you start remembering things that bring you joy,
Yeah.
and it started making me want to have that feeling again. And it started, okay, that was stuff in the past, but what brings me joy? What has been bringing me joy now? Even being locked in the house and even with all this chaos in the world, what was bringing me joy? And it was as simple as this. It was as simple as coming on here and just talking to someone and just sharing with them and getting from them. And this is all I want to do, is just this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important, man. It's important, and one thing been able to see is you you gotta like it's it's nice to like have the things that you want in life, or to obtain like status or fame or money, but those aren't necessarily, all of those things aren't necessarily where your joy in life come from, like your real joy. So and different things that have happened throughout the pandemic have really helped put that in perspective for me, that it's like the time, sitting with my mom, and having breakfast with my mom, or just going to the park, walking up to the store, and just it's like a lot of, like, there are a lot of simple things in life that can bring you joy, and that's where the real joy really is. It's not and as much as I would love to, go outside and hop in a Lamborghini, and there is some joy that will bring me. I ain't gonna sit up here and be like, but there's definitely some joy that come from that. But truly, to be able to share experiences with someone, to be able to go places, just it's more than just money or fame or anything like that.
And Scene Sound just posted something. Marshall and Nick helped bring joy. Um,
Oh
if
yeah,
you'd like to touch on that, now Nick is unfortunately no longer with us, but he's with us because
yeah,
of what he did while he was here. And again, that energy, he may not be here, but his energy will always be here.
yeah. And Nick was my boy, and it was so tough. Like when I was out in Detroit when it happened, and it's like, for me, I'm at one of the, I'm at like a very high point, and I'm at a very high point, and then I get that news, and it's like, and it just, and it kind of just yanks, it's like, and it, and I'm just fresh off of losing my niece, my sister's daughter, after, and then like a month later to lose Nick, and it was just like, damn, and it, and it's like I had to kind of really just just focus forward, because going through the things that I've had to experience, it's like nothing's gonna nothing's going to break me to the point of where I'm like, I can't, because you have to, you know what I mean? It's like life gets really, really hard. And it's like sometimes I say, God, I don't want to have to prove how strong I am to you, God. You know what I'm saying? And because it gets that tough sometimes. Like, please, bro, like I will carry it, but we don't have to see how much I can carry,
I, I,
And
I ask that question quite often. I go, okay, enough for it. Like how much? Like, and
right,
you gotta keep going through it, man.
right. And it's
And
and
and like I said, Nick's energy will always be here. I know you're gonna carry that energy
oh
for him,
yeah,
and
definitely.
that's a beautiful. I mean, again, there's so many things. These past couple of years have just been so many losses, and it's a shame to say that since there have been so many losses, I think we've almost become a little bit desensitized to it. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I've lost, and in the past month alone, it's just it's almost tiring. It's almost just like you almost really, like you said, you get to the point where you take it in, you mourn, and then you have to move on because it's like, how much of this can I take in?
right.
It becomes overwhelming.
Right. And I mean, it's so much like, you know, like within the like world, and then with, you know, and then close to home, it's almost to the point that like in 3 years there are gonna be people that pass away during this time. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I forgot, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, and not our people that are, you know, close to us, like how a Nick was or something like that. You never forget that, but there are things that have happened in the world that you like that in a 5 years you're gonna look around and be like, oh shit, I forgot that person's not with us anymore, you know. But Nick, man, Nick hit me, that hit me really, really hard, you know, because it just came out of nowhere, and it was so unexpected, and it's like that's my, you know, that was my dude, man. We spent more time on the phone than we did on live. We spent a lot of time on live. That's why we ended up going live, because it was just that those lives is just our phone conversations in front of everybody. You know what I mean? Um, and it was great, and I really like even doing this live with you is good for me because I haven't been on live like that. I think I probably went live maybe once or twice since Nick passed, and I've been kind of wanting to get back to it, but I just really don't know how to. You know, I really wasn't like it. Just was I just wasn't doing it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it just and it's like damn. I'm like you know I it, and we were supposed to me and Nick had a show coming up right before that happened, so we were gonna like looking to pick our live back up and do shows up until the show to promote the show, and then that happened, and it was like wow, you know. But like I'll miss him, man. I miss him dearly, man. That was my guy. I gotta call Chip. Chip is his dad. I don't know if he's still in here. I gotta hit Chip up. We communicated, but we haven't talked like in a, you know, about a month or so, and I want to hit him up. But yeah, man, that was like really, 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 really tough for me, man.
But
And that was my brother.
you'll carry his energy, and I know you're going to honor his
Oh
energy
yeah,
name. So that's,
definitely.
you know, that's, and again, that's a wonderful thing. Why? Because the two of you had an energy that connected. And
Mhm.
again, he may not be here, but his energy's still here.
Right.
And that's the important thing that you have to remember. You know, you can't you can't forget people. You can't forget their energy. You know,
Right.
that's one thing. You may forget a person, but you will never forget a person's energy.
Right. And that doesn't go away. That doesn't. Their energy never goes away. One second, hold. I had to yell to my assistant real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just got a new staff around the place.
Well, staff, look at
Yeah,
you!
yeah,
Ah.
yeah. It's one person. That's all. It's one person, they're really like an intern because they don't get paid. So
Hey, listen, interning for you is let me tell you that's an honor. That's a wonderful thing. I definitely want to connect with that person because I want to see where your intern's going to go, because learning from you is it's gold. That's priceless right there. So
oh shit, yeah, man. I always and I want if there's any comedians on here too. I want anybody just in life, yo. You keep receiving by giving it away. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I can get kind of talking with young comedians, and I always wonder if they'd be like, "Oh, this motherfucker, here he go." But all I be doing is giving them game. You know what I mean? Giving them understanding of you know, what I know. You know, with the hopes that it'll help them. You know, and I always tell them too. I always tell them like everything that a comedian tells you, including me, ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? But there are some things that are. So you take what applies and push the rest to the side. You know what I mean? So, but it's like I just always feel like you receive by giving. You know? So,
that's a beautiful. And like I said, I mean, it's always been. I'll even say this too, and it's something again with the energy. You know, I always watch. I'm always watching DNice and everything like that when he's on. I loved what he's done through the pandemic, constantly creating that energy, and to see him get the credit that he deserves for all the great things that he's deserved to the world. But there's something about a comparison between you and DNice that I got to tell you. There was when we were down for Dave's thing down in Washington when he received the Mark Twain Award, when Dave Chappelle got the Mark Twain Award. And we were down there, and there were a whole bunch of people up on stage. DNice was up on stage, Common, Yassine Bey, um, Erica Badu. And at one point, DNice jumps down off the stage into the crowd of people. And I see him coming in. I figure, oh, who he's going to see. And he came up to me. And
Damn.
he gave me the biggest hug. And everybody's like looking like, who's this guy that DNice is like, who's this homeless guy? Like, what the hell's going on here?
They're like, is that Rick Rubin?
Exactly. And well, Neil Brennan thinks that I'm Will Forte. And that night, who was it that came up to me? I forget who came up to me. I'll remember. Somebody else came up to me and they thought that I was Will Forte also. So, and everybody thinks that I'm Will Forte at a Chappelle thing, and I just wave to people. So it's fine.
Right.
But he gave me that hug, and a hug from someone who means it is a hug. And
Yeah.
I remember there was one night we were at oh my gosh, what was the Salsa Con Fuego? And I remember I walked in, and I think you and Donnell were performing that night. And I remember you just came over and you just gave me a hug, and it was a DNice hug.
Yeah.
It was just, some people give you a hug, and it's more than just a what's up. Some people give you a hug, and it's a connection, it's a spark, it's something, and it's not to sound weird. It's just a feel. Like I said, as soon as you came on, I feel. I mean, like I said, my energy has been good. It's been good the past couple of days. It's going up. You just increased it tenfold just by seeing you. That was it.
Thanks, man. Same goes for you, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Same goes for you, man. And we probably both needed that hug. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
Yes, and this right here is as close as I can get, but this right here is a hug to me from you. And
There you go. There you go. Yeah, man.
Oh man. So what's next?
Well, I'm down at the Cellar this weekend, Friday and Saturday, tomorrow and Saturday. And
Comedy Cellar this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
yes,
Go see this man. Go see this man. Go see this man. I can't say it enough. You will laugh your ass off.
oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then Sunday, Monday, I'm off, I believe, and Tuesday I'm back at Salsa with Donnell, and then Wednesday morning we fly out to Cleveland for All-Star Weekend. So,
Oh wow, that's good. Oh,
that's gonna be lit. That's gonna be lit. That's because I always, and I've been to a few All-Star Weekends. Not like this though. Not like.
Yeah, it's and the thing again that I love too is sometimes I'm privy to get a couple of messages or pictures of what's going on behind the scene, to hear what's going, and and again too, people see what some people post up, but then to really know what's going on behind, and the love and the laughter and the goofing and the family time. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When everybody's together, it's family time.
Yeah, I used to catch a lot. I catch a little bit less because you got to be, you can't just be filming all the time back there. But
Yes.
But it's definitely dope. It's like it's like a big family, man. And like to go and be at this, like at a stage in your life to where it's like, I mean, who your family is, like who you're related to through blood. You know who your friends are, and then you you kind of reach a point to where it's like those are the people that you kind of set with for life. But so then to meet a whole new group of people and make such great connections with them, and people that will continue to be that will continue from this point on to be a part of your family, it's beautiful to me, man. It's beautiful. And I just never, I always try to just stay humble and never take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? And because anything can be gone, in a blink of an eye. So it's like you don't never treat it like it can be.
Yes.
You always hold the same amount of respect for it that you had going into it. So that's what I try to do, man.
Nobody does it better. Nobody does it better.
Thank you, Bearded.
I really can't wait to see you in person again real soon. I'm hoping, things are starting to look a lot better. I think we're going in the right direction in the world. So hopefully we can get out. Hopefully we can. No, I haven't done any stand-up lately. like I said, I was really on my roll right before that pandemic hit. I had been open mics nonstop, and then everything started building, and that was it. I'm hoping very soon to get back out to it. I miss that stage. Like I said,
Oh yeah.
this is the best energy I can get right now, and this is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
But
and it ain't a bad energy. It's a
I
good
know
one.
this is a wonderful energy. But you know, like we've discussed, I need that stage.
Oh yeah.
I need that stage because, like you said, I mean, comedy is truth, comedy is real, comedy is love.
There
Um,
it is.
and you know, you've heard my comedy. My comedy comes. I got to dig deep down inside sometimes. I got to pull up some things that are tough to talk about, things that make
Hmm.
my day very difficult for my
Yeah.
family, that upsets us, and I'll pull that out and I'll joke about it because that's how I'm going to get through today. And you know, it's an amazing thing to get a response from an audience about something like that. If someone else were to tell my joke, it would be offensive, no doubt about it.
Right.
But it's my life, and I laugh at it, so I'm asking you to laugh with me. And when you
Right.
laugh with me, it's therapy.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, we definitely get that out of it. You know, we definitely get that out of it, and I'm working on the same thing. There's some things, and that's why that's why I'm so excited about the future because there's so many like unturned rocks in my life. There's so many things I haven't tapped into to talk about on stage, and I'm seeing my way to it. You know, I'm seeing my way to being able to get these things out and to to make light of them in a way that at the end of the day it'll help somebody too. You know what I mean? So because it's like for me, comedy is it's a little bit more than just being funny. You know, I really think that yeah, yeah, and I think that it's just about you can help people. You know, you can help people through anything you do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking. That's what I'm doing at the end of the day. I'm talking, putting words together. So why not include something in there that'll be good for people, that'll help people, and that'll make somebody. Because like one time I got a call, like I talk about, I say to talk about like whatever you go through, just look at it like it could be worse, and I say you lucky, it boils down to you lucky to be born human. You could have been born like a pumpkin or something.
I love that joke. Love that joke.
And and somebody hit me on on Facebook. Someone I didn't know, a lady, she hit me and was like, me and my husband were eating breakfast, and something happened with the breakfast that we're unhappy with, and we started to really like be negative about it, and then we thought about how like we thought about your joke about that it could be worse and that we could have, and she said we just laughed about it and went on enjoying our day. And I was like, wow, like, lady, you got a husband. Why are you messaging me? No, I'm just kidding. But, but I was like, but no, it made me feel good that they, that happened. That was something that they got from coming to see me perform. You know what I'm saying? So I just,
And again, like I said, you are. I've been fortunate enough to hang out with you. Just hanging out, fishing trips. You are the coolest. Just like I said, I'll keep saying energy because it's your energy that it just gives something. And then you step on that stage, and it's still you. You don't put on an act on the stage. It's still you, but man, it's just your energy just increase. And again, there's just certain things about certain comedians that you see. There was the one time at up in Nyack. I think it was during the summertime, and they didn't have the AC on, and you were like midway through your thing, and you just had to stop because the heat was just everybody was just like and you turned and you could tell everybody was kind of just like, oh, it's hot. What can they put the air on? And you were even it was getting to you too, and then you just went over to you put your head down and I think you said something about, man, can I just take a nap at work? And then you went into and you could everybody was sitting there sweating, laughing hysterically. You turned it into, and that's not just a great comedian, but again, a great human being. Because again, it's, I'm feeling crappy about this. I can just finish out my time and get off this stage and get paid. Or
Mhm.
I can see that we're all suffering here. Let's have fun. Let's laugh at it. Let's have fun with it. Let's turn it into something different. And it's amazing. I mean, just that change of direction, it changes everything.
Yeah, I learned from a comedian. You always, when you're on stage, if you come out of the character of having fun, then you lose, And so no matter what happens, you gotta always keep it funny. Even if someone is in the audience heckling you like nonstop, or like I just had to deal with someone being angry and yelling in one of my shows for 25 minutes, right? And I could have turned into something to where it was like I stopped the back and forth. He was drunk, and family. He was family of the people putting the show on, so it was kind of hard for them to just yank him and throw him.
Yeah.
Anybody else, they would have just got rid of him. But it was kind of like, and there was stuff going on in the family that they were dealing with that day, and I knew that most of that energy wasn't even for me. It was just that this was the outlet where it was coming from. So it was like I kept it funny. They finally got him out of there. Then I did like another 35 minutes just for the people that were, you know what I mean? Just because now we have a show that's not being interrupted. But I could have very easily came out of character. I could have very easily been on some like yo, fuck you, like what. But then I lose. You know what I mean? So you gotta always keep it fun, always keep it funny, always look at whatever you're dealing with, and say I could look at it this way, but I always try to operate like when I have a problem or whenever I'm faced with something, I always try to ask what my higher self would do, like what the best Marshall would do. You know what I'm saying? Like me being the most perfect me, how would I handle that situation as the perfect me? And that takes stepping out of the emotion sometimes, which we all should do. Step back, take the emotion off the situation and look at it, and then get back to being funny with it. So,
That's important, and I think a lot of people don't take that. And it's true if you just take a moment sometimes and not react. I
mhm.
think in this day and age too, I think people are very quick to react without taking a moment to maybe think about the situation. Do I know everything? Do I, like you said, and you didn't have to explain it. You didn't have to give that person any reason for the way that they were acting, but you saw that, you know what, maybe they were having a bad day, and it doesn't make it right, but maybe I can understand it a little bit more.
Mm,
You never know what the other person is going through.
right.
I gotta remind myself all the time too. Like if I'm on the road, I became like one of those people, like an angry driver, and I had to remind myself. I had to stop. You don't know that person that's cutting you off, that's flying. They may have a family emergency. Maybe they're not just.
Right.
You have to remind yourself, like, okay, just slow down, focus on my day. I don't know what their day is about. Let me focus on my day. Let me hope
Mhm.
that their day, if they need to get somewhere fast, hopefully they can get somewhere fast. Let me not think
Right.
of this. Oh, why are they cutting me off? I got no, 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 no. You go ahead. I'll get to where I'm going, and I wish you all the best too. It's
Right. It's not
it,
that serious. People
take
like,
it back. One moment. One moment.
yeah, and we're like, it's especially when it comes to driving, we be ready to go like, but I had to learn it's just not that serious. You know what I mean? And it's like this person didn't wake up and leave their house and be like, I don't know this guy, but when I see him, I'm cutting him off. You know what I mean? It's like you just say take it in stride, man,
Yeah,
and just and that's what, because I got like one of my friends, he's like one of the angriest drivers in the world, and it's like something happens, and next thing you know, we're going 90,
yeah,
and I'm like, bro,
yeah,
like, it, like we don't gotta pass them back, man. We
yeah,
don't gotta get them back. Let them go where they gotta go. If they did something so wrong to us, it'll be handled. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah, it's
look
true.
at Don B in the building, Rodney Perry in the building.
Again, I'm always grateful whether we have one person or whether we have 100 people here. It's the fact of what the energy that we're sharing, that we're helping each
Yeah,
other. And again, if one person listens to this and takes a grain of something that it sticks with them, then this is more than anything that I could have ever have asked for to do. And especially with a person like you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it here. I'm looking forward to in the future working with you on things. I,
definitely, man.
I love you. I love the work that you do. I love everything you do. I love the way you handle everything. And I really hope that we can very soon get together and can put some stuff together. And like I said,
Oh yeah.
I know the team is growing and everything is, and I know some things are happening behind the scenes. And like I said, the energy that I've been getting from Donnell the past couple of days, I know that we're moving again. You know, like I told
Yeah,
him,
we elevating.
I said I'm back. You know, I haven't been there that much. The memes have kind of fallen off. I kind of fell off with a lot of
You
things.
got busy with the Fat Joe. The Fat Joe went viral, man. That was dope.
And that was a little boost to me. Like, okay, just get back to doing what you. It doesn't matter how long you took off. Just get back to it. Just make people laugh. Make yourself laugh again. Just get back. It doesn't matter how long you take off. Just get back to doing what you want to do.
Right. And we need that time sometime. You know, we need that time. Sometimes we got to take a step back, but it's just that you take that step back knowing at some point I'm going to pick it all back up, get back into the fight, you know. But sometimes we need those breaks, you know, to collect ourselves or to do whatever we need to do for ourselves. But it's not always, you know, it's long as you get back, that's the important thing. And you got me, like, I'm like, damn, I got to start back going live too, you know what I mean? And or start my podcast or something. Nick kept telling me, he was pushing me so hard to start my podcast before he passed away. It's like, bro, like, you got to do this and got to do that, and so I'm gonna
energy is circling. That energy is back. It's flowing again. You're thinking about it. It's going. So get the podcast going, Marshall.
yeah. I still got my wall, so I may as well. I haven't even been in my office. Like, I came in here to straighten things up a little bit yesterday, and Lisa was like, "Oh, I saw you've been in your office and stuff like that." Because I spent a lot of time in here during the pandemic, not just going live, just writing and everything like that. And I'm looking at, and that's like my first order of business. I want to write a new set. I have a bunch of jokes and stuff, but I want all new ones. So I'm looking at getting started doing that.
And also, now that you just mentioned Lisa, I want to give her a shout out, because you want to if you want to follow someone on Instagram where you're going to get nothing but positive energy, nothing but love, Lisa, please. What her Instagram is? It's
Love Light Advocate.
Love Light Advocate.
Lisa,
Lisa,
is that it? Post it.
Post it. I'll pin you on.
Share your Instagram. Also, Bearded, she just wrote a book. It's a manifestation journal that she wrote, and it's full of affirmations and psalms, and it's like a workbook, like it's places for you to write in it, and it's really, really dope. Yeah, I'm getting into my filming again, but yeah, that's it right there. Love Light Advocate. You could go on her page and see her book. I think it's a really good book, and it just got it's on all of the sites you can order. It's not a hardcover book; it's a paperback, so you can like fold it up and stick it in stuff and keep it with you, because it's really a journal. It's a manifestation journal. I think it's incredible. And I think it's gonna do well. It got picked up by like a bunch of websites, they're selling the book. So I just try to promote it whenever I can. But y'all definitely head on over to her page.
Her, and again, like I said, it's one of those things where scrolling through it, and that's the way I keep my feed. It's the energy, and she had posted up something today too, and I put it up in my stories, and it was one of those things that really spoke to me today, and it's just again, when you find someone that's just a positive, and the two of you together, I mean, just that energy is it's overwhelming. I mean, like when you guys are here for my birthday, like again, going back, like I forgot about things like that, like my 50th birthday 3 years ago, whatever it was, when we had everybody here.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, and I think back to times like that with just amazing people, amazing energy, and I can use that to get me going again. You have to sometimes go back, and what makes you happy. If right now, if things aren't going great, sometimes use your past energy. Just get that feeling like, man, how did I? Like I said, that night was just. I mean, you were here, you know how it was. It was just.
Oh yeah, it was a great night.
It was
man.
incredible.
We had a good time. It was a great night. What's up, Candy Kisses, Miss Ambition? And but yeah, it was that was a fun time, man. We had a lot of fun times, man. It was like and those are the things like you said that you look back on and you're like, wow, you know what I mean? That you could pull a little bit of that good energy from from the good times and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's important to be able to do that.
just a small little gathering, because like Donnell reached out to me too for my 50th, and he was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "A New York club, this, that, the other thing." I said, "How about just a couple of people in the backyard?" And that, I couldn't have asked for anything better than that night. I mean, that was
Right.
for my 50th birthday. It was the absolutely perfect 50th birthday party. I mean,
Yeah,
it was,
we had a great
and you
time.
know who was here. You know how much fun we were having. I mean, it was again, it was everything. Yes, we could have been in some nightclub, taking over the VIP section or something like that, but just sitting down and connecting and talking and laughing. And you left to go do a show right down the road and then came right back.
Yeah, yeah. That's how like nights work out, you know what I mean? That's how like everything was just perfect because that show could have been in upstate New York or something, but no, it was right around the
Right,
corner,
yeah, right down. That was amazing. It was, uh, I can't tell you again. I'll say it over and over and over again, and I'm probably going to thank you for at least the next week every day for this. Like I said, it's good to be back. And like Donnell yelled at me this morning when I said I'm back. He said, "You never went anywhere. You just took some time off. That's it. You take
There
some
it
time
is.
off, come back. That's it.
That's all.
It's good to have
Hey,
this
Katrina.
energy. It's good to be a part of this energy. It's an honor to be sharing this energy with you. And like I said, I mean, I look forward to just doing so much more and creating with you and the family, and just doing more stuff like this. I'm thrilled. Like I said, watching where you're going and everything that you're doing is one of my greatest joys right now.
Well,
It's
thank you, man.
absolutely beautiful. It's wonderful. And I can't wait to see where it goes next for you, because no one deserves it more. And I'll say that. And I have no problem
Thank
on
you.
here. And like I said it to Donnell this morning on the phone, and I'll say it to you right here now. I love you. And
Love you, bro.
that's it. We say that, and it's
Yeah.
nothing other than pure love from inside, that I love you, and I'm grateful to have you in my life for what you bring to me. So
Love you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the good energy that's around me. You definitely are a beacon of that, man. So it's like it's just dope, man. We're gonna keep being dope and we're gonna keep making dope stuff, keep making great memories, man, and keep doing, keep elevating.
keep the
That's
world
the whole
laughing.
thing now. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Babbitt, Katrina? Yeah, man, comedy is love.
That's it. I'll tell you, that brand right there that's everything, and it couldn't have come from a better person.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Again, I appreciate it. I'm just gonna end this right now, because I don't even want to say anything more, because this was absolutely perfect. I love this. Follow Marshall Brandon. Follow Love Life Advocate. Just keep your feet positive. Keep your life positive. Keep your heart positive. Laugh at everything. Peace, love,
Later.
laughter. Marshall, again, thank you. Love you.
Thank you, Bearded. Thank you. It was a groove, man. See you
Yeah.
later, bro. Good.